Pokemon?
Here we have Serperior, the opposite of Duart. While I like Duart more than its final evolution, Serperior is the only Pokemon in its line that I like. It's the only Pokemon that sells its origin of snakes well, being the only starter with a truly serpentine body. I like how it stands out, not only in being a snake, but also in how regal it looks. Certainly better than its annoyingly smug pre-evolutions, Snivy and Servine. It also doesn't have a single terrible stat, but its speed as well as its move pool is where it shines. Coil, Leaf Blade, Gastro Acid, Swords Dance, Dragon Tail, and even Aqua Tail to deal with the fire types. It even gets Contrary as its ability. I would say that Serperior is the objectively best Unova starter, but all three final evolutions actually share the exact same base stat total. Well, in my mind it's superior. I wish I chose Snivy in my first Gen 5 playthrough and not that fat ass pig.
Who's that Pokemon?
I was praising Spiritomb for its unique obtainment, but Malamar is on a whole new level. To evolve Inkay, you must level it up to level 30 or beyond, as well as holding your system upside down. Yeah, upside down. This is shown in its design. If you take a close look, you can tell that Malamar looks like an upside down squid. Its body orientation and hypnosis abilities may have been inspired by the vampire squid's abilities to invert its tentacles and produce light. Malamar has a really overpowered ability in Contrary, similar to Serperior. This ability means that moves like Superpower, which usually lowers your attacks and defense, actually raise your attack and defense, and vice versa. It can also learn Topsy-Turvy, which would reverse any stat boost the enemy has. This is potentially fatal. To balance this, Malamar is slow and doesn't have any overpowered stats without buffs, but its English voice in the anime makes me laugh.
Who's that Pokemon?
Oh Luxray, how you saved my ass in Platinum all those times. Luxray is one of those Pokemon most people had on their Sinnoh teams. Shinx can be caught super early on in the game and would likely cement its place on your team. That's not a bad thing, as it will eventually become Luxray. This Pokemon is one of my favourite electric types. It seems to be based on a lynx with aspects of lions. It's pretty neat. The black and blue go together well alongside those bright yellow eyes. Its Pokédex entries mention how Luxray actually has X-ray vision. Now that's cool. I have so many nostalgic memories of this Pokemon. From first seeing Shinx to taking out the Elite Four. It's incredible. It has good attack and special attack, but I tend to train it to be a physical attacker. What keeps Luxray so low is its underwhelming move pool and its meh stats other than attack and special attack. Luxray also has a problem with type coverage. It can learn the elemental Fangs, as well as Iron Tail, but they can only be effective in very specific situations. Still a very good Pokemon though.
Who's that Pokemon?
I like dogs. Most people do. I also love edgy designs. Houndoom is both of these things. This is the edgiest dog I have seen in fiction, based on Cerberus of Greek and Roman mythology, who guards the bowels of hell itself mixed with the Doberman. Wow, that's badass. Houndoom's horns, arrow-like tail, and shackles, as well as the skull collar, further suggest this origin. Its typing of Dark and Fire is also very unique and hasn't been done too many times. Keep it like that, Game Freak. Houndoom is also one of the signature Pokemon owned by Karen of the Elite Four. Houndoom has a decent selection of abilities with Flash Fire, Early Bird, and Unnerve. Take your pick, they're all okay. Its base stat total is 500 with high special attack and speed. Pretty average, but not bad. Well, the thing I was extremely upset about though is Mega Houndoom. If the origin of Cerberus is true, then why doesn't Houndoom just go all out and sprout 2 extra heads while it's at it? It would be so perfect. Oh well, at least its base form is still cool, and still better than Manectric.
Whoops, did I just say that out loud?
Who's that Pokemon?
If you thought Houndoom was edgy, you haven't seen anything yet. Meet Zorowak, the monster fox Pokemon. I see that's a fitting description. The first Pokemon shown for Generation 5, I think it was an excellent choice. Zorowak's main gimmick is illusion. When Zorowak is sent into battle, it takes the form of the last Pokemon in your party. This messes with the opponent's head and can result in some funny moments. Zorowak is a mixed attacker, and has stats similar to Lucario, who I may or may not be covering later on the list. Bottom line, Zorowak is a sneaky and sly son of a bitch. You know, like a fox. Zorowak even had its own movie despite not being a legendary, similarly to Lucario. Just like Ninetales, Zorowak is based on the Kitsune, but with a more anthropomorphic twist. Many people actually compare this Pokemon to Lucario, due to their striking similarities. Both of them were shown off before their generation, have a canine appearance, and similar stats. I just wish Zorowak appeared in Smash.
Who's that Pokemon?
Generation 7 brought along many fantastic new Pokemon, but one I don't hear enough people mention is Passimian. Passimian is based on the lemur, you know, those black and white monkey creatures with the poofy tails, as well as quarterbacks in American football. Let's not pretend like that isn't super imaginative. It has a base stat total of 490 with the highest stats being attack, speed and HP. This means it was made to sweep. This funky monkey can learn decent moves if you use TMs, but its level up moves are terrible, with the exception of close combat. Through TMs it can learn Earthquake, Drain Punch, Iron Head or Iron Tail. Its counterpart, Oranguru, is also pretty cool, but I prefer Passimian in origin, appearance and battle capabilities. Passimian even appeared in a banned episode of the anime in Sun and Moon, episode 64, due to some interesting choices.
Who's that Pokemon?
There are many fantastic electric legendaries, but Gen 5 gave me a very hard choice. Zekrom or Thundurus. Both are really great, but in the end, I decided Thundurus is the better Pokemon in my opinion. Let's begin with origin. Its incarnate form is based on Raijin, the kami, or god, of thunder and lightning in Japanese mythology. It may also have drawn some inspiration from genies, as shown from its blue skin. In Therian form, Thundurus seems to be based on a reptile, most likely a dragon. It may also draw inspiration from the Azure Dragon and or Black Tortoise of the Chinese Four Symbols constellation. Lots of mythology in this one. In battle, I prefer using its Therian form. It has higher special attack, but slightly less speed and attack. I like teaching it Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, Focus Blast and Agility, for a strong special attacker with very little weaknesses. Landorus may be the strongest of the trio, but Thundurus is my favourite in every way.
Who's that Pokemon?
This behemoth of a Pokemon is Metagross. The result of two Metang fusing together creates this quadrupedal supercomputer monster thingy. Among the smartest of all Pokemon, as well as one of the strongest, armed with 4 legs ready to crush anything in its way. A lot of brain and a lot of brawn. Enough to make him the second pseudo-legendary of Hoenn, in fact. It is one of the more unique pseudo-legendaries for many reasons. For one, it's not a dragon type like most pseudos, and it's also genderless. It's also one of the more physically based pseudo-legendaries, with defense to boot. One of its abilities is even Clear Body, meaning it will be difficult to lower this gargantuan attack stat. His Mega also takes his design and makes it more, well, extreme is a good way to put it. I mean, one look at this thing and you know it doesn't mess around.
Who's that Pokemon?
While his typing of pure water is nothing special, Floatzel is a Pokemon I will never forget. This is because Floatzel was my water type of choice in my first ever Pokemon game, Platinum. Floatzel is extremely fast, as well as having great strength to boot. Essentially he's a sweeper. As well as this, it works wonders in rain dance teams, with Swift Swim and Water Veil for its abilities. For a Sea Otter Pokemon, his design is pretty badass, even if his 2 tails kind of remind me of Tails from Sonic. This Pokemon is also a hero. Its Pokédex mentions how it saves people from drowning with the flotation sac around its neck. If that's not commendable, I don't know what is. I just wish Ash would have evolved his Weasel. I would have loved to see a Floatzel in Ash's already amazing Sinnoh team.
Who's that Pokemon?
I don't think I have heard anyone who openly dislikes Sizzle. This is one of the most popular Pokemon to come out of Generation 2. Being an evolution of Scyther, it was destined to be awesome. In design, it seems to share aspects of red ants or mantises, but you know, with giant red pincers that can rip through metal. It can get the ability Technician, which boosts the power of moves with a base power of 60 or less by 50%, meaning if you teach it weak moves, it can still destroy whole teams. Its attack stat is through the roof as well as being decently defensive but slow. And its Mega Evolution makes every stat better by a decent margin. Sizzle also has access to many great moves, such as Sword Stance, X-Scissor, Iron Head, Superpower, and Air Slash. However, it has a massive weakness to fire, but that is its only weakness, so if you're using Sizzle, also bring along something that can deal with fire types easily. Another thing that sucks is actually receiving Sizzle, as it's a trade evolution, and one that requires a held item. But recent games have made this much easier, so that's not even a problem anymore. Get a Sizzle.